Hi there, my name is Dimitris Haralabidis, and in this short video, I hope, we will start exploring theory on AP Statistics topic 5.3, which relates theory with the central limit theorem. Before we go on that theorem, we have to make sure that we all understand what a sampling distribution really is, because a lot of students think that sampling distribution is just another graph. But what it actually does is that it's one of the most important ideas in statistics. And once you get it, you will see that confidence intervals, hypothesis tests will suddenly start making sense. So, in this video, I'll explain what a sampling distribution is, how it's different from other types of distributions, and how we can actually create one step by step. Let's begin with a definition. A sampling distribution is the distribution of a statistic, like a sample mean or sample proportion, which is calculated from all possible samples of size n from a population. Let's take a moment to read that again, and now let's try to derive its words. The key word here is the word statistic. We're not just plotting individual data values. We are plotting results like means, averages, or proportions. In more simple words, this means that if I have a population and I randomly take one sample and then calculate the mean of that sample, that's just a number. But if I take many such samples and calculate the mean of each one of them, and then plot all these means, that new graph, that new plot, that's what a sampling distribution of mean, in that case, would be. Let me try to visualize it on the right side of the screen. Let's assume that I have a population of individuals, and I will randomly get a sample of size n. For this sample, I calculated the mean. Then I'll get a different sample. For this sample, I calculated the mean again. Then I got a third sample. All these samples do not have to be independent, meaning that an individual could belong in more than one such samples. But the process remains the same. For all different samples of the same size n, I am still calculating the mean. Then I'm plotting these values found. And the graph created by these values, by the means of each one of these samples, is called sampling distribution of the mean. What is important for us in 2, you see I say be careful not to confuse the following types of distributions. What is super important for us is that these 3 types, population distribution, sample distribution, and sampling distribution, are not to be confused. By population distribution, we mean the distribution of every individual value in the entire population. For example, that could be the heights of all students in a school. By sample distribution, we mean the individual values again from just one sample. For example, we're not going to use all students in one school, but we will use the heights, let's say, of 30 students chosen from that school. Now, with regards to the sampling distribution, like of the mean, for example, that would have been calculated from many different samples. So, in that case, instead of just plotting heights of students, we would be plotting means which would be taken from each one of these smaller samples. So, really quick, population means individuals. Sample distribution also leads to individuals, but sampling distribution leads to statistics, which are the measurements taken from each sample. And please bear that deep in mind, because this distinction between these three types of distributions is crucial. Let's move on to the third one. How can we actually create a sampling distribution? I showed you, I tried to visualize the process, and that's pretty much it. We need some simulations. In the first step, we take many random samples, all of the same size n. We wouldn't want to get a sample of size 10 and another of size 100 and the third of size 20. We would prefer all of our samples to have the same size. Then, for each such sample, we have to calculate that specific statistic, whether that is a mean or whether that is a proportion or anything. And finally, after collecting all those statistics, all of those means, all those proportions, all those everythings, we plot them. That final graph is the sampling distribution. Let's see an example. Suppose I roll 10 dice and I calculate their mean scores. That gives me one sample mean. Now, I'm going to repeat this process of rolling 10 dice and finding the average many times. Let's say I'm going to do that 20 times. And then I will plot these 20 averages taken from these 10 dice each time. And this is how I will have created a sample distribution of sample means. Let's wrap up everything before we're done. The big idea is this. A sampling distribution shows how a statistic, whether that is a mean, whether that is a proportion, or anything, behaves when we repeatedly sample from a population. And that idea of the sample distribution, allow me to say, is the foundation for understanding variability. We will explain it as well in one of the following videos. We can explain variability through sampling distribution. We could also explain standard error, we will see that later on as well, confidence intervals, and hypothesis testing. Make sure you do understand this concept, because if you do, statistics will start being about memorizing formulas and will start making logical sense. Stay with me, because in the next video, I will connect this sampling distribution concept directly with the central limit theorem. For now, I hope I made things kind of easier. If you liked the way I presented that, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you still have issues, please don't be shy and leave a comment in the section below. As always, thank you for watching.